The Bucs are hurting, guys. Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in today's video we are previewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. And like I said, guys, first thing that I want to talk about is this team is hurt. And when I say hurt, I mean they are really freaking hurt. Just taking a quick look at the injuries, okay? Lavonte David, knee injury, he's probably going to play. Carlton Davis, he is out. He will not be playing in this game. DeMar Dotson, he's probably not going to be playing in this game either, so we're probably going to be seeing a lot of Leonard Wester. Justin Evans, Brent Grimes, they're both probably going to be playing this game. It's more probable than not that they're going to be playing, so that's good. Get a little bit of a boost back into our secondary. More recently, Deshaun Jackson has been named out, which should be very interesting considering Chris Godwin and Adam Humphries. I'm very interested to see Chris Godwin and Adam Humphries get more playing time, because that could very well be the future of our receiving core. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Adam Humphries, and then OJ Howard when he comes back from injury. So this could very well be a look at the future moving forward. Also continuing to be out is MJ Stewart with a foot injury. Honestly, I think they might end up putting him on the injured reserve. But what this means right now is if Brent Grimes plays, your starting cornerbacks, or your cornerback depth chart, I guess I should say, is going to be Brent Grimes, Ryan Smith, Devontae Harris, Javian Elliott, and David Rivers. That's your 5 cornerbacks. Now, I like Devontae Harris, Javian Elliott, and David Rivers. I think they're all very nice guys, I imagine, in real life, but they haven't had a lot of starting experience. I mean, Javian Elliott, he's had the most. He's been a starting slot cornerback in some capacity for this team, but Devontae Harris, he's only been with this team this year, and he's been on and off the roster. And David Rivers, again, he's been on and off, not just this roster, but also the practice squad. So I'm a little bit cautious, guys. And to make matters worse, that's the depth chart if Brent Grimes does play. If Brent Grimes does not play, you could very well see Ryan Smith being our number 1 cornerback. Now, I'm sure there's a few of you who very well would like to see that happen because you're some twisted, cynical bastards, but I don't want to see that happen. I like Ryan. Well, I'm sure Ryan Smith's a nice person, but as a player, he has had his ups, and he has definitely had his downs. Now, he did have an interception last week versus the San Francisco 49ers, but man, he's still kind of like our number 3 or number 4 corner, guys. So for him to go from like number 4 to number 1 in 1 week, that's a little bit scary, especially when you have guys like Cam Newton running around and doing his thing. You have Christian McCaffrey, who just absolutely murdered us the last time that he played us. And then you have receiving weapons such as Devin Funchess and DJ Moore. Our cornerbacks are very depleted right now, and we could very well be seeing a whole heck of a lot of Ryan Smith, Javian Elliott, Devontae Harris. We probably won't see a lot of David Rivers, but definitely Harris, Smith, and Elliott. 100% we should be seeing a lot of those 3 guys at the cornerback position. Speaking of our overall defense, I do want to point something out, is Mark Duffner has made this defense a whole heck of a lot better than Mike Smith was making it, and Duffner was using spare parts, and Mike Smith was basically using a fully healthy defense, and Duffner's still doing a better job. They've actually dropped their points per game down by 7 whole points, and I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but that's actually a big deal in my opinion. That's actually a pretty big deal. They also have been improving in sacks and in pass defense, 2 things that were a huge problem for the Buccaneers last year and at the start of this year because, you know, Mike Smith lol. But I'm very interested with Mark Duffner right now. I'm very optimistic. I'm very happy about this defense moving forward. Now, things could totally fall apart, but you also have to keep in mind the injury bug has been hitting this Bucs defense hard, and Duffner's been able to make things work somehow, at least better than what they were. I know it's not perfect, but I'll take it. You know, things couldn't have gotten worse, and they've only gotten better. So I'm very interested to see what happens with Mark Duffner. Will he get a permanent look at the defensive coordinator position? It's hard to say right now, but you know what? I might even be for that. I want to see what Mark Duffner can do with an entirely healthy defense, and I want to see what kind of game plan he would come up with. I think that he could very well be a very interesting and even a downright good option for this team moving forward. Keeping on our defensive theme for this preview right now, it's Vita Vea. Now, I'm not going to talk about Jameis Winston, the quarterbacks, and how they can build on their momentum from this last game versus the 49ers, because that is just dry and dead, and I've been doing that all season. But I do want to talk about Vita Vea building on his momentum versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Vita Vea had, I believe, 3 tackles for loss and a sack. He looked amazing, and that was usually whenever the 49ers were doing outside runs, mainly a lot of the stuff that Carolina likes to do, with a running back like Christian McCaffrey. They like to run him on the outside. They like to use him in the passing plays and whatnot, kind of like how the San Francisco 49ers were using Matt Breida. So I really hope that Vita Vea, who's been playing with a lot of heart this year, by the way, whenever players get the ball, you always see Vita Vea trying to chase him down, and he's a big man. He can't run. He can run surprisingly fast for his build and whatnot, but still, at the end of the day, he's a defensive lineman. Running backs will run faster than him, but still, he's been playing with a ton of heart. Let's hope that he can build on this momentum and really plug up that running game, because Jason Pierre-Paul is probably going to do his thing, which, by the way, congrats to Jason Pierre-Paul for getting over 10 sacks. Carl Nassib's going to do his thing. Vinny Curry, whatever. And Gerald McCoy is going to do his thing. Now, if Vita Vea can start doing his thing as well, we might be seeing a pretty good defensive line, not just for this year, but also potentially for next year as well, if they decide to keep Carl Nassib, who's looked phenomenal so far. And if Vita Vea actually pans out and starts building on this momentum he's been creating for himself, we could be seeing a very good Bucs defensive line here in the future. Speaking of this Bucs defense versus the Carolina Panthers offense, gotta talk about Cam Newton. I don't like Cam Newton. I really don't like Cam Newton. I know a lot of Bucs fans don't like Cam Newton. To me, Cam Newton's that kid who played football on the playground, who would just run around in the backfield a lot, and everybody would say, "What are you doing?" And then he would somehow make the play work and think he's the best quarterback of all time. That's kind of what Cam Newton reminds me of. He doesn't seem like he's a very humble guy. I don't know. I could be dead wrong. I'm sure if a Carolina Panthers fan watches this video, he will tell me I'm dead wrong, and that's fine. Whatever, it is what it is, but I just really don't like Cam Newton, and I really don't want him to kill us this time like he did last time, because I don't like him, and the Buccaneers have a really tough time handling mobile quarterbacks. They always have. They just seem to struggle with that, and that's fine. Mobile quarterbacks are sometimes very hard to deal with, so I'm really hoping that Cam Newton just doesn't absolutely destroy us. And then you have to factor in weapons like Christian McCaffrey, who just absolutely ruined our lives last time he played us. He did. It was just disgusting. And then you still have to worry about wide receiver options like Devin Funchess, DJ Moore, and Greg Olsen. Now, I'm not as worried about necessarily Devin Funchess. I don't think he'll have that big of a game, but I am worried about DJ Moore, and I am worried about Greg Olsen, because the Buccaneers have had a really rough time versus tight ends, and they've had a really rough time versus number 2 wide receivers. Tyler Boyd killed us, among others. So like I said, I'm worried about DJ Moore, and I'm worried about Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen always kills us. I'm sure Greg Olsen's a nice guy, but when we play him, I don't like him. And DJ Moore, he's this emerging rookie, and last time he only had 1 catch for 16 yards against us, but man, wouldn't it just be such a Buccaneers thing to do if he just had his rookie career game, even though he hasn't done much this season, if I'm being honest. But it would be such a Buccaneers thing if he just went over 100 yards and a touchdown versus us. So I really hope none of that happens, but we are depleted at the cornerback position and especially at the linebacker position. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. I think things will be okay, but we'll just have to wait and see. And finally, guys, I posted a poll talking about the entire kicking situation, and I won't exactly have enough time here in the video to post all of the comments, but it was talking about Cairo Santos and whether or not you guys thought that he was the savior of the kicking curse. Is it finally over? I think almost half of you said yes, and almost half of you said it was too early to tell, and I kind of agree it's too early to tell. And in some of those comments, they said, now don't freak out if he misses 1 or 2 field goals, and I completely agree with that as well. Do not freak out if he misses 1 or 2 field goals. Kickers do that now for some reason. It is what it is. But I will say Cairo Santos has looked very good so far while he's been on the team. Let's hope he can continue to make all of his kicks, because that does seem to be a pretty decent factor. When you make all your points, it just keeps on, building that momentum. Just keeps the train chugging. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it can be a big deal in terms of momentum and just kind of the mood of the game. Nobody likes seeing a missed kick. Not us as fans, nor do the players, nor do the coaches. It just kind of takes the wind out of you. You kind of gasp and then you get a little bit disappointed. That's what happens whenever you miss a field goal. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope Cairo Santos can continue to be great. But guys, that's pretty much it for this preview. Now, I want to know down in the comments section below, what do you guys think is going to happen in this game? What do you think the score is going to be? What are you looking forward to most in this game? Is it Vita Vea? Is it the injured secondary? Is it Mark Duffner? Is it Jameis Winston with all of these weapons without Deshaun Jackson? Because that might be a little bit interesting. What are you guys looking forward to? Maybe you're looking forward to the offensive line improving. Let me know all this down in the comment section below. If I had to pick a score, I'm going to keep on going with the Bucs, man. 31-20 Bucs. Got to do what I got to do, as Ralph would say. Shout out to you, Ralph. I know I see you in the comments, man. Never think I don't, because I always do. But sorry this video is so late, guys. I'm literally recording this at 3:30 in the morning. It's literally finals week for me, so that's been really stressful, and I've also had work, so I haven't had time to study. So whenever I'm not working, I'm studying. It's been a mess. It's just been an absolute mess. I just turned in one of my finals papers, and I actually have an exam today. This is going up on Saturday. I have an exam today at 3 p.m., so that's fun. And then I have an exam on Sunday, literally like right after the game. So that will be fun, and I have to do good on those exams. So, I've been studying. My apologies, guys, but thank you for all the continued support. Nonetheless, it is greatly appreciated. I've been doing polls and whatnot to kind of make up for the lack of videos. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, and as always, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.